This week on the Steam Machine podcast,
Mama said that the crocodiles are always mad because they got all them lives and no double jump.
Cue the music! Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Steam Machine podcast. My name is Dalton, and joining me as always is one half of the Destructo Bros.
Yo, what's up? It's Willie. So we're about to rock out with our croc out.
Rocking out with the croc out after a while. Crocodile, how you been, my good sir?
Man, I've been on some good stuff lately. Just happy to be back to work, you know, had a nice good week at work. And then today I got to go to Rec Bar, our local pinball barcade, and just play a fucking ton of pinball. And it was a delight.
That's what's up. Any standout tables?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, so apparently they've moved their their Monster Bash table from here to the 812 location. So it's like just across the river in Indiana. So I didn't even know that location existed, but apparently they have 80 tables over there in Indiana. So wow. I might have to check that out soon.
That's a lot. 80? Yeah. That seems like a lot.
Yeah. They have like 50 something at the one here in Louisville or in Jeffersontown.
Now, my question to you is, do you buy tokens or do you pay a fee and kit in and everything's free play?
It is tokens.
Tokens,
you,
okay.
You have to change it out for it. So you are rewarded for getting good at the game.
Fair. I was just curious.
So yeah, I tried some new ones that I've never played before. I really wanted to play Terminator 2, but sadly the right flipper was just incredibly anemic. Like, I put in $1 worth and pressed the right flipper and it was just like, not like coming up at all.
Terminator 1 style.
Yeah, it was busted. Just wicked busted. So, that was unfortunate. But I really enjoyed, like, I played more Fishtails. I played Fishtails last time. Always have a great time with that. Got some replays on it. Always fun.
A blub.
Yep. Attack from Mars was the main one I played a bunch this time because they didn't have Monster Bash because they sent it to 812. So,
is that based on the movie?
No, it's actually not related to the movie Mars Attacks. It came out before the movie.
Huh.
I know, right? Because, like, not only is it kind of similar, but they actually had a Mars Attacks Martian on the wall at the bar. Like, so, yeah, you know, they were definitely thinking about that. Yeah. But no, it's not related, but it's a really fun table. You know, I got to play it a bunch and I got a couple of good games. One of my favorite, it has so many fun voice lines because the idea is like the Martians attack 5 different countries on Earth. And like, so when you're playing, over, Germany, for instance, they're like, we will kick your Martian butts all the way to the moon. And I don't know why, but that line just kills me.
All the way to the moon.
Yeah. And fucking, it is fun. I played Star Trek The Next Generation a few times. Still trying to learn how that game works, but had a lot of fun with that.
God, that Martian... Oh, sorry, I was going to say that Martian table you were talking about just makes me want to play Destroy All Humans.
Oh, totally, yeah. But it's kind of the other team, but yeah.
Playing for the other team, yeah. Exactly. It's like, what do you think you are, German man? Let me zap you with my ray.
Oh, one of my favorite things about that table too is, so when you do the 5 cities, you're saving the monuments from the aliens. So you see the aliens with a tractor beam pulling like the monument over and it's like tilting and stuff. Except the Leaning Tower of Pisa, which is straightening when they do that one. It's a good joke. I love it. It's a very funny table. Like a lot of just really good jokes in it.
That's rad. Yeah, I've always enjoyed pinball. I'm not great at it, but I've always liked playing it. But I've always done digital versions more often than not.
Yeah, a lot of the ones I played them on Visual Pinball X. I can help you set that up sometime if you want to, because it's a really good way to emulate older tables. I think the vpforums.org, they don't have a lot of the like Stern tables that came out in the last 10 years because those are still being actively sold. But they have like, if you have like those 90s tables, you have like a nostalgia for. They have a lot of those.
So they have Opie and Anthony tables, but no Stern tables.
I hate you. I don't want to talk to you.
Come on, that was fun. I could have said Bubba the Love table.
Fucking Baba Booey. Get out of here, dude.
Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
Baba Booey, Baba Booey. Howard Stern's multi-ball.
And a Hong Kong Fooey all in one.
Oh, I'm trying to remember what else I had fun with. There were a bunch of really good ones. I played some of the Stern ones, some of the Rock Band based ones, because they have like AC/DC, Foo Fighters, and all that. So I played AC/DC, which is, it's made by the same guy that made Terminator 2, so it has the same cannon mechanic, except the cannon's based on like the cannon from those, you know, for those about to rock.
Those about to rock!
But there's also like the fucking, the big bell is like from Hell's Bells. Like there's just a bunch of really good little props. So even though I'm not the hugest AC/DC fan, like I do think it's a fun table.
So I'm not a huge AC/DC fan either. Sorry, this slide tangent. I'm not a huge AC/DC fan either, but they know how to write a song that is like 4 chords and rocks. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, what is that song? TNT. And then like Back in Black, all of those are like the same chords, just played differently, and they all rock. But it's not something I like seek out to listen to. But the riff in Hell's Bells, that doom down doom down 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 is fucking sick, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Like AC/DC isn't a band I would just sit down and listen to, but like if their music is blasting at a party, I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah. Even if I don't love AC/DC as a person, a party loves AC/DC.
Yeah, the whole party's going to be singing, I'm on a highway to hell. Even though that's my least favorite AC/DC song, I think. But
also, I love that you shouted out TNT because there's also like a bank of 3 targets that spell out TNT.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 skating around, because I'm TNT. Just yeah, so good, dude. So good.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. Fun stuff. I didn't end up playing Foo Fighters, but enough people played Foo Fighters that I have the Pretender stuck in my head right now.
Fuck yeah. What if I said, you're the pinballer?
I did try to play Metallica, and I didn't like it very much, which is sad. The song selection was okay, I just didn't really enjoy the game. Maybe it's the way they had it set up, but it seemed like it had just a really unfun launch and not a lot of flow to it. I liked Iron Maiden a lot. I played at least like 3 games of Iron Maiden. That one was pretty sick.
Hell yeah. They should do a Typo negative table because so I think it's Red Morning, Death in the Family is the name of the song. But there's so say you run out of quarters and say they just put a little thing that is a sensor as you're walking away. And they could just start playing this section from that song where Peter Steele just goes, wow, no, but please don't go.
I do love when the pinball table like taunts you at the end of a ball. My favorite is if you drain on the out lanes. So you know how like in pinball there's like the little bumpers, and then behind them there's the little lanes you can drain like outside of the table.
Yeah.
If you drain on an out lane one of those on Terminator 2, it gives you on your last ball, it gives you an hasta la vista, baby, as the ball is still draining.
Amazing. Give me a Jurassic Park Lost World table with Malcolm, just Dr. Ian Malcolm, just talking shit to you.
They had a Jurassic World table, I just didn't play it.
Oh, I see you couldn't get the ball in, and yet you expect to bring dinosaurs back, huh?
Man, fucking Star Trek The Next Generation, fucking Commander Data literally, if you drain during one of the missions, is like, I believe if you had put the ball in the correct trajectory, you would have been rewarded. Fucking thanks, Data.
I love Data.
He's so good. Brent Spiner, man, great actor, great character.
Yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, man, that's what's up. I'm glad you had a good time playing some pinballs.
Yep.
What else you been up to? Anything? Playing anything interesting?
Well, you sent me some equipment. I think, did we talk about Doom the Dark Ages any last week?
I talked about what I had played of it some. I don't think we had talked about it any more than that, though, because I was trying to avoid things because you hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah. So I played the first level of it. I need to play more because it was fucking dope. And honest to God, it was my number 2 pick for this episode to be my next pick. But it's not going to be that. But
bro, that first level is just such a fucking power trip.
I could not believe how awesome the shield bash felt. Like, I felt invincible shield bashing, dude.
So cool. When you just boom, and they just explode, and all of their buddies explode, and it's like, fuck yeah, visceral destruction.
Oh yeah, it's so nasty, and it's so quintessentially Doom, you know? It's like the same feeling you get the first time you blow up a barrel and a bunch of Doom monsters explode in, like, the classic games.
Now, I'm going to be that guy. Because I clicked on a YouTube video that I saw. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I inhaled some spit. Went down the wrong pipe.
Bad decision. Try better next time.
The YouTube video I saw was this dude who was just like, clicking on it, I was like, this is a smug nerd, right? Like, you know that look?
Yeah.
Being nerds.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah. So I click on it, and he starts talking about, all right, we're going to listen to Doom the Dark Ages music. And he puts it on, and like 30 seconds into the first fucking song he puts on, he pauses it and he goes, what is this mixing? This is awful. This is definitely no Mick Gordon. Blah, 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 just blowing Mick Gordon. And I'm like, listen, I get that his music's really good, because it is. That motherfucker knows how to write some seriously heavy, good shit.
He defined a new genre just from Doom music. With that being said, just because it isn't Mick Gordon doesn't mean it's bad.
I thought the music was good. I was bobbing my head for that first level. It really felt like everything fit. So I'm just like, I didn't understand. And I skimmed through the video, and his opinion never changed. And I'm just like, all right, bro, you're just being a hater. Like,
it's YouTube, man. Some people are just like, they want to be the angry video game nerd or the nostalgia critic. And so they're just like, well, this game has 4 monsters here. Why not 5? What's the deal with that? Come on, developers. And it's like, dude, buddy, and, you gotta fucking chill. Amazingly
enough, any post I've seen of it on Facebook, usually it's like IGN posting a screenshot of all of the rewards it's gotten, or Doom itself posting, they're like, oh yeah, this game's gotten nothing less than like 9.5 or whatever. People in the comments, all super like, yeah, this game fucking rules. I saw one person say, hardest difficulty, 120 speed monsters or something like that setting. Oh, this is the perfect game.
Man, I'm still not even ready to try to turn up the difficulty yet, because I honestly, I'm playing on, I think Ultraviolence or Hurt Me Plenty, one of those two, and I was still feeling it enough. Like, I had 1 death on the first level, so I wasn't getting creamed, but I did have to pay attention, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's definitely one of those where, like, there were moments where I felt like, oh, if I fuck up right now, I might die.
Yeah.
You know, like, so it didn't seem too easy to me. Whereas,
I also like that they added a new difficulty setting too for like something that's like a little less than Ultra Nightmare, but you have like limited lives, but if you run out of them, then your save is destroyed. So it's not like Ultra Nightmare where you get 1 life ever, period, but
we'll see.
It's still like playing for keeps.
You know me. When I saw that I had sliders I could play with, I was like, oh, okay. I give myself, I find more ammo. Let me find a little more health. I didn't fuck with like enemies doing more damage or less damage or anything like that. I left all that the same, but I was like, let me find a little more ammo. Let me find a little more health.
And at some point we should do blood fresh supply for this show, because like the most recommended way to play blood fresh supply is actually with customization in the made to order difficulty that they added to it.
Let me do a quick Chizek.
I'm almost certain you have blood fresh supply.
I think I have it on GOG, and that's what, yeah. Okay, yeah, so we could do that.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not for the next episode, but at some point it is definitely, I feel like that is now the boomer shooter that I'm missing the most now that I've played Half-Life.
Really? I know little to nothing about Blood. I bought it because it was called Blood, and I was like, that's a cool ass name.
It's the same engine as Duke Nukem. It's the build engine.
Okay. I like the look of Duke Nukem 3D.
It is widely, Duke Nukem 3D is what I meant, not the 2D side scrollers, yeah. It's widely considered to be the best build engine game. It also is the game that was probably the second most direct inspiration for, Dusk after Quake, and also probably the biggest inspiration for, Bloodshed, a game you told me about recently.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. That makes sense to me. I'm down. I'm always down for a shooter, dude. Like there's going to be a day where I'm just going to have a whim up my ass and we're going to play a Call of Duty or something.
Yeah. And so it's better for me to pick fucking,
not, you know,
it's better for me to pick fucking Blood so you don't end up going, oh, we're doing Redneck Rampage. God damn it.
What's wrong with Redneck Rampage?
Nothing. It's the 4th best build engine game.
No, you'll be fucked up if I throw something at you that you're just like, I don't want to play that.
I don't think that's ever actually happened on the show. Even when we've had things that I thought were shitty ideas, I was like, whatever, we're going to do it. We've talked about stuff in the background and I've been like, I'd rather you didn't. But there's never been one that we've, just straight up had this friction on.
No, yeah, but there's one game I would love to cover just because I don't know why it exists. And, you know what it is, Hatred. Like, I would love to cover Hatred because it's just like, what is the point of this game? Like, why does this exist? I've played it and I'm just like, it's a twin stick shooter that's kind of interesting, I guess. Like, there's like a plot, but then it seems really weird and alt-righty. It's very odd. The whole thing is very odd and I'm just very confused by it. And I think like that would be more of like a, let's not talk about how much we enjoyed it. Let's dive into why this became a thing and why is it a thing.
Yeah, because I feel like that seems like a kind of game I would play just to get mad at. Kind of like how I did all of Blair Witch just to make sure I was still mad at it.
Oh, no. I'll tell you, I never beat Hatred. I got through the first area, and then I think I was in the second area and gave up because it started giving me a headache because of the way it looks. And also, that game is fucking hard.
No one else on the show fucking beat Blair Witch either. I just kept on playing it because it made me so mad that I'm like, I'm going to give you a chance to prove me wrong. So when I shit on you, there is no excuse.
Speaking of Blair Witch, I've been watching through Drop Frame's old episodes and I just got to the E3. They're watching. It was the Xbox game show where Keanu came out for Cyberpunk and that whole thing happened. There was like another huge announcement during that. I think Wasteland 3 was announced at that show. The new Halo game was announced at that show, but so was Blair Witch. And when they showed the trailer for Blair Witch that they showed at that show, made that game look badass. It made it look so awesome and intriguing and scary, and it was just so not what it was.
Can you believe that team went on to do a Silent Hill remake that most people think is actually really good? That's so fucking wild to me.
I can, because
I guess Blair Witch looked good in that game. Yeah.
Blair Witch looked really good. So taking something where they didn't have to fuck with the story and just making it look better, I can see that they did okay. Was that Bloober Team?
It was Bloober Team, yeah.
Bloober Team, yeah.
But like fucking, I mean, even then, yeah, Blair Witch had things going for it, like Bullet and Bullet.
And Snake on your phone.
I liked Bullet. Snake on your phone, very good. Yes. I don't know, Bullet was a good dog. I like Bullet. I think even Nathan, when he scored the game, he gave it 1 point more than he would have, and he said that point is entirely for Bullet.
Yeah, Bullet the dog, man. He was... Of course that dog's running away, motherfucker. Quit calling it to you. There's a demon behind you. Let that dog run and be free.
He's a good dog. I liked him.
Yeah.
Shame about everything else.
What started us talking about Blair Witch? I don't remember.
I think we got there from game trailers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But so I know you've been playing Bloodshed lately, and we can talk about that later. But like, man, there was something else that I played recently that I thought seemed up your alley. What was it? Or no, I saw it. I'll never remember. It doesn't matter. Is there anything else that you've been up to lately, brother, before I get into the random shit that I've been doing?
No, just wanted to say I've been happy at work and happy to play pinball all day. And then I came home and played Croc for a while. And we'll talk about how I felt about that when we get to the show. Yeah.
So I forgot to mention it last week, but I played Miles Morales.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Dude, it looks so beautiful. Dude, you've sent us so many screenshots and that game looks amazing. Yeah,
so the reason I originally loaded it up is because I was doing more troubleshooting, trying to figure out why my PC, being as powerful as it is, won't run certain games with ray tracing or path tracing on it. It's driving me fucking nuts, right? So I loaded up Miles Morales, which has ray tracing, turned everything on ultra, ran like butter, smooth as could be, no crashes. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe because Miles Morales is an older game. But I was like, but this fun.
It's not that old.
It's like 2021, 22, something like that. Because Spider-Man 2 is definitely more recent.
Oh, but, okay. So it was 1, then 2, then Miles Morales?
No. It was 1, then Miles Morales was like... So Miles Morales was almost like a standalone DLC for the first game. And then 2, yeah. So I was like, man, but...
That's what I meant. I said it in the wrong order in my brain because I'm stupid.
So swinging around was fun. So I'm like, well, I'll swing around and do a couple missions before I close this out. And like within a couple missions, I had like things to find around the city already. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. So I just start swinging around going to find these things. And next thing I know, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to play Miles Morales. And the next thing I know, I'm like, oh, I'm beating Miles Morales. And then I'm like, oh, I 100%ed Miles Morales. It's like I did everything that I could. I was like, man, what a game.
I don't even think I 100%ed Spider-Man 1. I got kind of close, but I don't think I finished it.
I don't think I did either.
But I did collect a lot of the stuff. I had a lot of fun with it. I definitely need to try Miles Morales. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, if it ever comes up for the show, I would gladly play it again because it was just super fun. I had a blast with it. The story was great. The length, it was not very long. I think it took me like 12 hours total. Maybe a little longer, maybe 20 hours. I don't know. I don't remember. But it was a couple days that I just sat down and played it at night, and it was just so fun. Then I also have been messing around again with Pathfinder Kingmaker.
Of course you have. All 7 million hours of that game.
Because I beat Wrath of the Righteous, and I was like, man, that's so good. I was like, I need to go back and beat Kingmaker because I never beat Kingmaker. So I went and I started a new game, and I've been playing again. I'm not very far, but I'm having a good time. I'm also playing Black Myth Wukong. So that is one of the games that gives me issues when I turn on ray tracing. I don't know why. I have narrowed it down to it's either a game problem or it's an NVIDIA problem. But one of the things, my game crashed for Black Myth, and I commented about it in a Steam discussion. I was like, I don't understand why this happens on my 4090. And someone said, well, I have an AMD card and the same thing happens to me. I'm like, okay, so it's a game issue. In any case, I have been playing Black Myth Wukong, dude, and you want to talk about a beautiful game, whether you have ray tracing on or not, but smooth gameplay. Dark Souls-like. It's definitely a Souls-like. I have gotten my ass handed to me more times than I can count, but fuck am I liking it. It's really, really fun. Of course, you're playing through the is it Journey to the West? Is that the name of the story?
Yes.
Yeah, and I love it, dude. I love being the monkey guy. He's such a badass.
I guess he's called Wukong. I always think of him as Goku, obviously.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Goku. Yeah. 100%. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. Did you not know that the original Dragon Ball is based on Journey to the West?
No, I did not.
No, it actually is.
Not, my good
Holy shit. That's incredible. Yeah, no, the original Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, but the first Dragon Ball is based on Journey to the West. Goku is Wukong.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Really does.
I, honest to God, did not know you didn't know that, and it's blowing my mind.
Yeah, no, I never knew that because it's a Chinese story, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess the fact that it was a Japanese anime, I just didn't make the correlation.
Well, I mean, the thing is that, like, the 4 classic novels of ancient China are, like, huge in all of East Asian culture, so they also play in, like, Japan and Korea and all that. So it's, like, it's Journey to the West, the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Water Margin,
and The Art of War.
One I don't remember off the top of my head.
The Art of War?
No, Art of War isn't a novel. It's an instruction manual.
Oh, man, I love Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Oh, it's fucking so good, dude.
That's such good shit. It's inspired so many good games, too.
Right? Fucking, obviously the Romance of the Three Kingdoms games by, Koei, and then also the Musou games.
Yeah, Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, Dynasty Warriors.
And then I have installed right now, I haven't really played it much yet, but Total War Three Kingdoms.
Mm-hmm.
So
there was a Three Kingdoms RPG for the NES too. I'm trying to remember what it was called. I don't even remember if it was by Koei or not.
Was it Nobunaga's Ambition?
No. I get where you're coming from, but
Nobunaga was Japanese, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Pardon me.
Shit. I'm gonna have to look up because I'm gonna go crazy if I don't. Three Kingdoms NES
I know I have a
RPG.
few.
It was called. Nope, that's not the right one. Destiny of an Emperor.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I've never heard of that, but I have a few Chinese RPGs that are like parts of long running series.
Guaranteed Nathan was listening to that going, it's Destiny of an Emperor, you fool.
But like I've got a couple Sword and Fairy games, which I think are like a long running Chinese RPG series. Yeah,
I'm not as familiar with that particular story, but that sounds cool.
What is it? Oh, okay. I've got Chinese. It's called Chinese Paladin Sword and Fairy 6. But the one I'm thinking of, I'm sorry, that I have is oh my goodness. XUAN Yuan. Zhuan Yuan?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you would say that? Zhuan Yuan?
It'd be like Xuan Yuan, I think.
Xuan Yuan? Xuan Yuan's sword, Mist Beyond the Mountains and the Gate of Firmament, is Mist Beyond the Mountains is like a re-release of a game that came out in like the 90s, I think, or early 2000s.
Okay.
Like it's been a long-running RPG series.
Cool.
And they're the only two that I know of that have been translated. I could be wrong, but yeah, I've been enjoying diving into some of the. I'm really looking. Let me rephrase that. I'm really looking forward to diving into Total War 3 Kingdoms because Total War, man, the scale of that game sometimes is ridiculous.
Oh, absolutely.
So that'll be fun.
The war, it's total.
It's absolute total. And since I've been talking about it in the Discord a bunch, I figure I'll bring it up on here. I found a launcher that's really cool.
Oh yeah, I saw you. You did mention that a bunch. Tell us more.
So it's called Playnite. Playnite. And basically it's just set up to be like a all-in-one style. You know how like GOG Galaxy tries to do it, where like you can include your other libraries in there with it?
Yeah.
It's a little clunky though when you do that. This one, not only can you import your PC game libraries into it, but you can also integrate emulators into it as well. So like I have RetroArch in the back end, and then I have Citra in the back end. So in this launcher, I can launch from Amazon Games, Epic, GOG, Humble, itch.io, Steam, Ubisoft Connect, and then straight from Playnite, I can launch TurboGrafx 16, Nintendo 3DS, Nintendo 64, and Nintendo DS, NES, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, GameCube, SNES, Genesis, Master System, PlayStation 1, 2, and Portable.
But does it know how many licks it takes to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Now that I'm not sure. I haven't asked it. I'm sure there's a plugin for that though, because there's a lot of plugin and extensions. So maybe it's got one that counts licks on a Tootsie Pop. The world may never know though.
The world may never know.
But I also like to.
I never made it without biting.
Me neither. It has a How Long to Beat integration.
Oh, that's sick.
It has.
I love that.
It's called Success Story, so it's achievement integration from different. So like it tracks your Steam achievements, GOG achievements, Epic achievements, like what you're playing.
Can it actually tie into RetroArch's retro achievement?
It can tie into retro achievements.
That's so sick, dude. That's amazing.
And also you can run it through Screen Scraper and stuff. So it pulls. So I have art, box art for all of my. Emulation
Dalton
games.
just randomly threw up the horns for no reason as he was trying to illustrate something. He was just like, like he was trying to like move freaking like a touchscreen in front of his face from like some kind of 23rd century thing.
Well, like I'm gonna drop a instance of it right here in our chat. Oop, wrong menu. So you can kind of see when I run Screen Scraper and stuff like that, it pulls up this. So it pulls the covers from Screen Scraper or Steam database or anything like that. So it fills these in as metadata. Yo,
that's a good GameCube collection. Freaking Def Jam Fight for New York, Eternal Darkness, Backyard Baseball. Good shit.
Oh yeah, I tried to get all the good ones that I could remember. I will say this. It takes a while sometimes to scan depending on how big the file is and everything. But once I got it set up, it's been absolutely rad. Very easy to use. Excuse me. I'm enjoying it a lot. And there's different themes too. So, if you want it to be like different colors, you can do that. Or there's like people that have different themes that are set up for different, like ways that you would want to run things. Like, do you want it to be more customizable, or do you just want it to do specific things? Do you want it to do yada, yada, yada? And then there are completely different full screen themes that you can do. So like there's a theme that makes it look like Netflix interface.
Huh.
So you can scroll through and get through your games like that. There's a screen theme, that makes it look like, Steam's interface. There's one that makes it look like PlayStation's interface, Xbox interface. There's one that makes it look like GOG. All different kinds of shit that you can do. It's really, really cool.
Oh my GOG, Becky.
Oh my GOG.
But
yeah, having all that integrated into one is just really, really nice.
That really does sound really useful.
It has proven to be.
I'm sorry, I've got so many cars just zooming past me making background noise.
That's all good. Noise reduction should take it out. It's got a play next feature too, which is nice. And if you pull up your list menu, and this is the last thing because this is strictly a me thing, there's a randomize button. So I can just hit a random button and it'll just pull up any game in the list. And I'm like, oh, that's going to make making polls so much easier.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Just click, boom, put it in. So, Yeah, there's my little semi-technical spiel on a new launcher. Check it out. Play Night. It's proven to be quite handy, and it's got integration for a lot of emulators if that's your thing, all the way up to PCSX3, I believe.
Nice. Oh man, speaking of nights, I saw some people, or I didn't see it, but I heard people playing Black Knight 3. I don't know what it's called. I think it's Black Knight Sword of Fury or something like that. And you know how I mentioned Black Knight 2000, the voice of the Black Knight is Steve Ritchie, who also voiced Shao Kahn?
Yes,
I am delighted that in Black Knight Sword of Fury, I think is what it's called. You'd have to look it up, but it's something. It's not Black Knight 2000. It's the next one in the series. But he actually uses the Shao Kahn line, "You weak, pathetic fool." I just heard that. It just made me so happy.
Beautiful. You weak, pathetic fool.
Oh yeah, we gotta let Dalton do it because he's got that bass. He's got that basso profundo.
All about that bass,
No trouble.
Yes.
I like how we both went squeaky. That's so good.
Oh man, I'm sure that I did other things this week, and I can't fucking remember what they were. I've been trying to go. I started playing Mortal Kombat Complete Edition. So before Mortal Kombat, so I think it was Mortal Kombat 9.
So I've got to brought up Steve Ritchie.
Yeah, yes, that's probably what triggered it in my head. And I'm just playing through that for the story and the -1 at the end of it for my backlog golf, which I'm at 0 at the moment.
Oh, I haven't been keeping up in a while. Holy crap. It's going to be something.
It's, I'm at 0. I'm being beaten by a few people and I need to fix that. So I'll get there. I know though, Dane's going to come in at the end and be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, here's all the hentai games I beat this year." Blah.
I played Don't Shit Your Pants 400 times.
There isn't a really easy -1 or -2 that I got last year. I'm not giving it away. You got to go scroll through the chats if you want to figure out what it was, but it took me all of 5 minutes and I 100%ed the game, and it was not my quick -2.
Well, if you were a real scumbag, I guess you could just hold the skip button on the When They Cry games, and you'd probably get a whole shitload of them.
Yeah, that's fair. Treat them like Dane did the Sakura games.
That would be a horrible thing to do, though, because like the story is really interesting. At least Higurashi Chapter 1 was.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, from my perspective, and I think this is my internet, not yours, the sync between your camera and your audio is so off. It's throwing me off.
Yeah, my mouth looks like it's moving about 1/2 second later than me talking.
No, now it's fine. A minute ago, it was like I could see your mouth talking, but then you weren't talking, and I would reply to you, and then I would start hearing you talk. It was just throwing me off. Probably my internet being weird, because I've been doing a bunch of downloading, so I'm probably being throttled. So, let's get into the game of the week, shall we, sir? We played a little game called Croc, Legend of the Gobbos. And I have some obligatory Wikipedia bullshit for you, my good sir. Croc, Legend of Gobbos. The
origins of this one are interesting, by the way.
I thought so too. That's why, I'm going to read more than one paragraph for this, because it's the two paragraphs that...
There's a lot of interesting shit involved in this game. In this development history.
It is a 1997 platform game developed by Argonaut Software and published by Fox Interactive. An early
Argonaut
example...
Software, better known for Star Fox. They made this one Game Boy game that was so popular or so advanced that it was basically a tech demo for what they wanted to make. And they went on and made fucking Star Fox. So they worked closely with Nintendo for a while, but this was their debut on the PlayStation instead of Nintendo systems.
Yeah, and it was an early example of a 3D platformer game. It was released for PlayStation, Sega Saturn, and Windows.
Mm-hmm. Not for Nintendo. Interesting.
Yes, and we'll get to that in the next paragraph. Taking place in a fictional setting of Gobbo Valley, Croc, Legend of the Gobbos, follows a young crocodile named Croc, who sets out to rescue his adoptive family, a group of furry creatures known as Gobbos, from the evil magician Baron Dante. Now here's where things get interesting. The game initially started development shortly following a successful relationship between Argonaut and Nintendo, with the former creating a processing chip for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System called the Super FX that was used in games such as Star Fox to display 3D polygonal environments. It was first pitched to Nintendo as a prototype for the 3D platform game, in which the player controlled Yoshi, from Nintendo's Super Mario series, but it was ultimately rejected by Nintendo, ending the relationship and prompting Argonaut to retool the game as an original property. The game's characters and mechanics were designed by Simon Keating in his first ever video game project. Justin Sharvanov, Karen Griffin, and Martin Gwynn Jones composed the game's music, while Jonathan Aries provided the voice of Croc, which the voice of Croc, I guess, is him going like, "Ah, yeah, ha." Interesting that this game was going to be a Yoshi game.
It kind of shows a little bit in the design, like the way that the tail hitches up on Croc and the way he's like two-legged. It is a very similar stance that Yoshi uses. But yeah, if I didn't look it up and learn that it was a Yoshi game originally, I would never have known.
Yeah, me neither. Well, but now that I know that, I can see that maybe you were Yoshi, maybe you were trying to save like Toad's type of people.
Yeah.
And you were having to go
sense.
against Bowser and his shitheads. But yeah, man. So I'll ask you your first impressions in a minute, but I picked this game because this is one of the first games that I ever played for my first PlayStation. Like when I had the PlayStation 1, this is a game that me and my dad would play together. I don't think I ever made it past the first island back then. I think I would just get in and tool around, but once I got to the actual boss fight, I would typically lose. I think if I got past that, I was not getting past Island 2 as a kid. Because I would say this game has a good increase in difficulty. Like it goes like first island's not bad and then goes up. And for me as a child, I was like, meh, I'm going to go play Siphon Filter or something like that.
My first impressions is I really thought it was very, very pleasant. I liked the music a lot. I thought the character designs were really cute, and I appreciated very much that it has that feature that I really love in remasters of old games, where you have a button you can use to switch immediately to the original graphics and back.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts. I played a lot of this game after hitting select and just using retro graphics, with it just controlling better than the original did.
Yeah, like, I mean, even then the graphic difference isn't that much, which is also why it's incredibly shocking that this is a 30 gigabyte download, because this original game fit on one PlayStation CD-ROM, so 650 megabytes or less, and all of the textures just really feel like they were just, like, they could have been AI upscales of the original textures for the most part. Like, it did not seem like it should have been 50 times the size of one CD-ROM.
I think probably what made it that big is all the little CGs that you see.
And there is a museum section too in the game that lets you see like behind the scenes stuff from the game's development, which again is something I think is really cool. I love when old games have like little museums in them. And it shows that means that, you know, the people that made this game really cared about the game and its place in history. Like, the museum even shows you, like, how the game was presented when it was marketed in Japan, for instance. And I think that's really neat.
Yeah, I haven't even gone and checked out the museum area yet. I played through it and beat it and was like, I'm going to go back and 100% this. And then went back and tried to get a couple of the things that I missed. And after getting really frustrated, I was like, you know what? I'm good with the -1.
Yeah, so I do think that is an immediate thing that also jumped out to me very early on is most levels are super trivial if you just go in a straight line and really annoying to 100%. And there's nothing in between. There is no, like, 80% completion reward.
No, yeah, it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole end of the game. Like, you can fight the final boss and everything, but there's a whole like 5th island that you don't see unless you have 100%ed everything up until that point, which I was just like, meh.
Yeah, I think it will not surprise the listeners to find out neither of us 100%ed this game.
No, but I did beat it. It.
Yes, you did.
And
I got more than halfway into the levels.
Put a tally on the chart. I'm better at Willie than 3D platformers. Woo! Oh man! So
yeah, I mean, you got further than me in Crash too. So you know what? I'll give you that one. You did better than me at Crash Bandicoot. So
yes, sir. I may suck at shooters and especially boomer shooters, but 3D platformers I grew up on. So like I've played a lot of them.
Fair enough.
It's like I really wish they would do a fucking PC release for Jak and Daxter. God damn it! I want it. But yeah. So Croc. So really cutesy game. I think that this is a baby game for babies.
I love the character design. The character design is very baby game for babies, but it is really cute.
Oh, it's adorable.
Although I think I think the bosses don't quite live up to the character design for the most part, but I think the main characters, like you, the ordinary monsters, the main boss, they look cool. The level bosses are kind of crap, but, they're just also up-jumped random animals that were, they had a spell put on them by Count Dante, so I can't be too mad about that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to talk about, was that, like, the way that they become boss characters is because douchebag Dante, the bad guy in the game, just, like, puts a little spell on them, and they just become a bigger version of themselves, and you have to find a way to take them out. I thought it was odd.
He just, like, sees a ladybug and goes, like, poof, and then...
Yeah, so... Almost all of the bosses throughout the game you have to hit them 3 times and then they die. Mm-hmm. There's one boss you get to that has 6, and it's not the final boss.
The one that splits in 2, right?
He splits in 2, and then he splits in 2 again. Yeah, so you have to take him out, right? He's got 6 health bars. Then there's the final boss where you have to fight Dante. I say this not playing, I haven't played the whole 5th island, but the final boss of the 4th island is Dante.
I heard there was a secret chord that Dalton didn't play. It didn't please the Lord. It goes like this: the 4th, the 5th.
So like when you fight Dante, you beat him, and then he goes into 2nd form, and then you have to beat him again, and then he goes into a 3rd form. And you have to beat him again, and you have to basically he is a combination of the 3 final bosses that you have fought previously. And it's really not that bad. The original Croc. The reason I was so impressed with this remaster and the reason I wanted to play it for the show was because they made the controls so much better as far as handling.
So I don't know anything about the original controls, but I will say that like most early platformers have super shithouse cameras, and this game gives you a delightful amount of control over the camera, like way superior to even games like Mario 64, which was a contemporary of this game's release.
Yeah, I actually looked it up. I was like, did this come out before Super Mario 64? And no, it didn't. So I wonder if they learned from that, because even in the original Croc, the camera was better than Mario 64. But the thing in the original Croc, from my memory, I need to load it up and play it, was that he moved much more tanky. And I feel like...
you compared the remake of this to the remake of Tomb Raider in terms of controls.
Way more smooth than this one. But... The overall level design, so there are secret levels that I loved finding too. Like I just loved trying to find them. I knew of one from when I was a little kid, and it was in the first level of the game. You start off and there are 2 floating platforms above you that you can like hop up on this little thing and then jump up on them and get a piece, and there's a bee flying around it that you need to take out. Well, the platform on the right, if you jump on that and butt stomp on it 3 times, it teleports you to a little secret area where you can gather up some gems, and then there are 3 boxes that you can break that have hearts in them, and you can gain lives. So I would just farm that level over and over and over until I had like 50 to 60 lives if I was having an issue somewhere, and then just go brute force my way through something. And that continued. Now, except I did it a lot more now because I got a lot further.
Yeah.
I used to sink some lives as a kid.
It clearly gets more demanding as the game goes along. Like,
so the first island is not that hard at all. It's 100%. Sorry, again, I don't mean if I'm talking to him, but like while you're talking, there's a weird lag going on right now. But the first island is very easy, especially the first level. The first level is just very quick and easy. Snap, you can run through it in like 20, 30 seconds if you wanted to, if you just avoided everything. But as you continue on, like the second island is a lot of ice and snow level. And you kind of have to deal with the slickness of the ice and stuff. I know, Willie, you had an issue with that, right?
Yeah, so when it came to the ice levels, I really, really did not enjoy them because... Okay, so for the game Adventure Island or Wonder Boy, depending on which way you played it, the ice worked like this. If you were in midair, you had a little less control than you did on the ground, but that midair control is what they used for the ice floor physics. So it still felt like, game controls. In Croc, you have less control in midair, or in contact with the ground on ice than you do while you're in midair. So if you're jumping, you're better off than you are on the ground. So you want to be just constantly jumping so you actually can like plant yourself and move around with accuracy.
Yeah, and see, I I didn't run into that as much, I guess, because I don't know if I was just kind of used to the ice mechanics in this game or not, but like I just tried to move very slow and would just let him slide and then kind of walk back towards me if I needed to slow down and would kind of get to where I needed to go. But yeah.
Well, I didn't like walking towards ledges in this game either, because the problem is that this game doesn't have what they call coyote physics, where like if you walk off the ledge and hit the button at the same moment, you still get to jump. In this game, if you walk off a ledge, you're immediately unable to jump. So you have to hit the jump button in advance of you going off of a cliff. And I just felt like that was a little clumsy with what we know now of today game controls, you know?
Yeah, they're a little more forgiving these days. But yeah, so like the third island is a lot of lava and having to deal with lava and fire shooting up at you and different things like that. The fourth island can go fuck itself because it's all castle stuff. You have to climb this big ass Bowser's castle basically, and you want a lot of moving platforms where you have to pre-jump and then land on the platform as it's moving underneath you, stuff like that. There's an area where there's this big dude, he's got a big mallet and he's hitting these wood planks, and every time he hits it, all the platforms in the area shift a different way. So like the one in front of you will be spikes up and the one next to it will be flat, and then he'll hit the thing and they'll switch. So you then got to jump, and then when he hits it, you got to time it and jump right, and you got to do all this. And then you get to a point where he's doing that, but every time he hits it, it's like they'll flip, but sometimes they also move. So then you're like dealing with, okay, so every 3 hits they flip. So you need to get there in 3 hits, yada, yada. So like they're just having to go. There's all kinds of shit. It's hard to describe. When you see it, you're gonna die a couple times probably, but once you get the hang of it, you can kind of hop your way through it because you know the rhythm of his slams and everything. But it gets real tough. Like I said, I went back and farmed lives a handful of times.
I feel like too, like it seemed like, at least as far as I got in the game, the levels were kind of made out of a very limited number of parts. Like you kind of saw everything the game had going for it very early on, and then after that, it seemed like you were basically just dealing with flat platforms and ground and moving platforms, and that was more or less it. Like, it felt very slapdash in terms of level construction. The levels do not stick out individually for the most part, unless they had little cool gimmicks like the low light level 6, or I think it was 2-6.
Yeah, I love the low light stuff. That comes back a lot more in the in Island 3 and 4.
Yeah, which I thought that one was pretty cool, but it also came after 25% of the game being ice physics, which can eat my entire dick, balls, and taint. Medically speaking, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely has its quirks. I love the little enemy dudes. They're so cute.
They're cute. They're super cute. I will agree with that. The character design in this game is pretty damn cute.
The little devil ones with the pitchfork that shoot at you, though, can fuck off.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I hate those little sons of bitches. But yeah, all of the enemies in this game, everything about this game is just cute. Like, it is very cozy, cute, 3D baby's first platformer type game. That's the way I look at it. Like, I preferred this as a kid over playing Mario 64 because I couldn't wrap my head around what the fuck the N64 controller was supposed to be doing. So, yeah, man. Anything else that jumped out about you about some Croc, my good sir?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I didn't have any fun playing this game whatsoever. I liked a lot of what they were trying to do. I fucking hated playing it. The levels were either trivial or obnoxious, with no in between. And I don't even think that's like objectively the case. I don't think it's like a bad game per se. It's just a game I hated playing.
No, I feel you. There have been games like that for me. We played one recently. Like, it's just, it happens, man.
I like the soundtrack and the character design a lot. That was nice.
Yeah, I do enjoy the music in this game a lot. It's just very...
Music's really quite good.
Make you kind of bob your head while you're playing, which can fuck you up in trying to do your jumps.
If you told me like this was like a secret Rareware game, I'd be like, wow, they didn't have the magic for the gameplay this time, but the music is still on point.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and give it a rating, my good sir, because this was a short one, so I don't really have much more to say about it. And the way the audio is being right now is real weird, making me think this is going to be an interesting edit. So
yeah, I hate that for you. So what I'm thinking is, for me, I try not to give a game a score of 3 or less unless I think the game is objectively awful. And I think this game is objectively fine. I just hated playing it. So I'm going to give it the extremely strange score of 3.01 Gobbos out of 10 Crocs.
All right. I love this game. I've loved it for a long time. I still love it. It's great. It's a great remaster. I'm very impressed with it. They made it look pretty. Their lighting and shading that they added really added something to the game. And I do appreciate, though, that they did add where I could hit the little button and make everything retro again and just see like, oh, this is what Croc would have looked like at 4K when I was a child. So very, very interesting. I'm going to give this game 7.75 hearts out of 10 jewels. 20-sided jewels, because it looked like 20-sided dice, but pearls.
Yeah, and again, I think this game has a ton of charm, and I think that it not being for me doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's just super not for me.
Yeah. No, I get it, dude.
Also, I think we synced up a little bit better after I rejoined the chat.
Yeah, that's possible. I don't know. It was there for a minute. It was just like you would talk, but then your video was just not connecting, and I didn't. That's why I'm waiting for you to finish in my ear. So I'm like, I don't want to interrupt you.
Well, the video is also on a different device too. So
we got a few questions. Not many, but so the first question that we got, my good sir, comes in from one Nate Sir Cogsworth, the 7th of June-iper, Turtle Bear Man himself. He says, so Gex is a platforming gecko. Croc is a platforming crocodile. What other reptiles would be good at jumping platform to platform?
Probably a dragon. I think maybe a spirally type of dragon would be pretty good at that. You fucking idiot. You dumb ass bitch. How did you forget about Spyro?
I thought you were going to say a dragon that's drawn in crayon.
I'm going to kill you.
I mean, that's also a platforming dragon. I'm just saying there are, this is a 2-scale system. I think
I quit.
Oh, damn it, Jeff. I was going to say a salamander, and Jeff said this platforming salamander. I was going to say, yeah, salamander would be cool because they're really pretty colored.
I do like that, yeah.
Snake Pass proved that like a snake can do it. You can platform as a snake. It's hard as shit, but it's doable.
Mm-hmm. Is there a chameleon game? I feel like that sounds familiar.
Mortal Kombat.
Shut up. I hate you. Mortal Kombat Trilogy did have a character called Chameleon.
Yeah, you had to use a code to
actually,
get him.
Two different characters called Chameleon. I think the PlayStation version and the N64 version were 2 different characters.
Makes sense to me. Dude, it's crazy. Just sidebar. The Mortal Kombat that I'm playing, I'll probably end up picking it for the show at some point, maybe. Or maybe we'll just jump in the show at 10. I don't know. But anyway, in the story, there's a scene where Scorpion shows up and he's looking for Sub-Zero. And Raiden gets this flash. Like, he keeps getting these visions of what's going to happen in the future because it's like the world has already ended. It's a weird, convoluted Mortal Kombat story. But he sees Scorpion killing Sub-Zero and Sub-Zero coming back as Noob Saibot. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, that's so cool. That's what's up. I love Noob Saibot so much.
Oh, yeah.
Tobias Boone.
Yep. Named after Ed Tobias Ed Boone and John Tobias.
Yeah.
Which I only found out today because I looked really closely at the playfield that the dummy Rudy in the game Funhouse is voiced by Ed Boone.
Huh. I didn't know that. All right.
Cool.
So the next question comes in from Fenris. Does Croc wear platform Crocs?
He's a Croc and he platforms.
But he doesn't wear Crocs. He is not wearing shoes, my good sir. So I'm going to answer your silly little question, Fenris, with a no. No, he doesn't.
Damn.
Adam, who would win a fight between Croc and Mario? This is like the who would win a man versus a gorilla versus 100 men. If you're putting up a plumber against a crocodile, I'm going to put my money on a crocodile. Just saying.
I think it depends on whether the crocodile is kind of prepared. If the crocodile gets like the upper hand in any way, like if it has an advantage in terms of angle of attack or whatever, it's good. I think a very, very prepared human could at least use the fact that a crocodile can't open its jaws if it's got pressure on it. So if the human had to jump on the crocodile, then there's a chance. Otherwise, it's the Croc's game to lose.
Yeah, I think if they were to fight now, the plumber might win. But if they fight after a while, I'm giving it to the crocodile.
I fucking hate you.
It's a good Godsmack song. The last question comes in from Dane. But seriously, what are Gobbos?
Doesn't it sound like the word Gobbos sounds really spicy to me. Like, it sounds like, yeah, I'm gonna kick you in the Gobbos, or like, maybe some like, really rednecky Australian type of dude be like, oi, we don't want no more Gobbos in our country. Like, it sounds rough.
Oi, kick me right in the Gobbos. In the game, Gobbos are like these little furry creatures that are cylindrical, and they have little feet and little shoes, and they got big old eyes. And they're
like
just
tribbles that can walk.
They're like the cutest fucking things ever. Like, why there are not plushies of Gobbos, I don't know. I feel like they would sell. Because this thing I've got over here that I got for Lilith already kind of looks like one. So you just put some legs on this, turn it brown, you got a Gobbo. The listeners can't tell what I'm talking about, but you can. But anyways, so Willie, what are we playing next, my good sir?
Well, so it came down to 2 games in my brain, and both of them are basically your fault. I thought about doing Doom the Dark Ages because, of course, you sent me the graphics card that makes that game work. And that sounds fun. I would like to get a little bit more of the band together when we do Doom 6, though. So I think this time I want to go ahead and do the combination of Boomer Shooter and Vampire Survivors-like game, Bloodshed, which is a very recent release you hit me to very recently.
Yeah, so I literally was just scrolling through GOG sales, and I saw Bloodshed, and I was like, what is this? And I clicked on it, and it was like, it's like Quake meets Vampire Survivors. And I went, oh, well, that sounds right up Nate and Willie's alley. So I bought it, and I sent it to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you played it for 8 hours before I ever even loaded it up.
That might be true. So, that's also kind of cool. If you don't end up playing that much, I'll be able to talk about it for a whole show's length.
Yeah, it's I played one level before we went live today, and it was quite fun.
Yeah, you definitely. I saw you get Flynn and his deagles ready. So now you should have access to the second character. His name isn't Caleb. I think it's Joreid, but he's very obviously Caleb from Blood.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of Easter eggs and stuff in this game that kind of just are a love letter to original Boomer Shooter games.
Oh yeah, like I literally showed you a picture of a guy that was just straight up a fucking cacodemon.
Yeah.
Another character that was clearly an acolyte from Heretic.
All right, well, hell yeah, we'll be back next week to talk about that. Willie, got any plugs before I get into house cleaning, my good sir?
I would like to thank Bally, Midway, and Williams for making a bunch of great pinball and arcade games throughout the 80s and 90s. Go play Mortal Kombat, or NBA Jam, or any of many pinball games such as Monster Bash, Attack from Mars, Medieval Madness, or, I don't know, fucking kiss your mom on the cheek. I don't know.
I don't see it right now, but I know I've talked about it before. But one of my favorite VHSs growing up as a kid, as silly as it was I had a Midway preview VHS that I got from like Blockbuster or something. So it was just
so sick.
Commercials about Midway games. And then I had another VHS that was like a Midway thing, but it was like commercials for games. And then like 30 minutes at the end was just about Mortal Kombat.
Was it like a cartoon Mortal Kombat
the PlayStation
movie?
one that no one liked.
Oh.
No, this was a making of Mythologies. Yeah. It was awesome. And that's why one of the reasons I liked Mythologies. Oh, go ahead.
I had a VHS tape that was like, it was like a 25-minute cartoon that was like an origin story to Mortal Kombat that was like a prequel to the movie, basically. It was like what they got up to on the boat and how Goro got there and all of that shit.
Huh. No, I've never seen that.
Let's see if I can find it sometime, because it was really interesting.
Yeah, I would watch it if you ever find it. Pop it over to me.
I'll look for it on YouTube after we get done with this, because it would definitely be a cherished childhood memory for me. But yeah, fucking Bally, Midway, and Williams, fucking great companies back in the day. They really made my day in the 90s. So bless them. I know that they're no longer with us as a company, but man, they made some fun shit.
Yeah, there's definitely a reason that like there's quite a handful of Midway collections on all kinds of different systems. Like for sure, like Rampage. Love me some Rampage. I know it's not pinball, but it's arcade. So
it's a classic. Absolutely. No, this is why I shouted out Mortal Kombat. It isn't just pinball I'm talking about. It's the company did like NBA Jam. Again, cool ass shit.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, all right then, man. If you would do us a favor and please go leave us a review over on iTunes or Spotify, that would mean a lot. I did look And the last text review we got on iTunes, I think, was from 2022, 2023. So let's fix that. Let's get us some more iTunes reviews. Write something about the show that you like. That would mean a lot. It helps us in the algorithm. More people will find the show. You want to come join the Discord? That's where all the cool shit happens. Is bit.ly/TSMP Discord, all capital letters. You can come and join and on the shenanigans and vote on the polls for the games that get picked by you, the listeners. Right now, the poll that is up, overwhelmingly Dark Souls is still winning. So I'm assuming that is going to win.
Yes, I kind of hope it does. I don't want to fucking balance it out too weirdly, but I really I've been wanting to do Dark Souls for the show for so long that, like, even though we did Elden Ring and it did sate my appetite for several months, oh boy, do I want to do Dark Souls.
I think Dane's right there with you. Like, in my head, when that came up on the poll, Dane became that meme of Michael Scott. It's happening! It's happening! It's happening! So, yeah, that's going to be a good time. So, yeah, come join the Discord, bit.ly/TSMP Discord, all capital letters. That'll get you an invite in. You want to check out the website, which is kept up to date by Dane, is bit.ly/The Steam Machine Podcast, capitalized phonetically. If you'd like to support the show, which means a lot to me, helps me keep the lights on here, literally and figuratively, patreon.com/The Steam Machine Podcast. $1 or more a month gets you the episodes early, ad-free, and you get the banter at the beginning that is just for the patron sections. And if you donate $10 or more, you get your name read on each and every episode, also, like these wonderful, wonderful people. Nate Sir Cogsworth, the 7th of June-iper, Jeff, the original Expendable, Mr. Syllables, old Jeffy Lube, also he's a duck, Ariesoradam, shout out to his podcast, Spectre approved, Team Retrogue, go check him out over on YouTube, Mr. Puzzles, Dane himself, Flyin Brian, Doran Gray, and the RPG Wolverine, Logan Joreid. You are all very, very much appreciated. We love you.
It means so much to us that you're willing to put anything at all towards keeping our show going. That it means that much to you. That means so much to us.
Yeah. It is very, very much appreciated that people pay to hear our random bullshit that we talk about. Check out JRPG Report.
And even if you just listen for free, I mean, I appreciate the shit out of that.
Yes, absolutely. Any of the listeners are much, much appreciated. We love you all. Check out JRPG Report. Shout out to Grumpy Jeff's Pro Wrestling Power Hour, currently on a slight hiatus while Dane is having family time, and we'll be back with that relatively soon. tsmpproductions.threadless.com. Go get you a shirt or a handbag or some socks or some underwear, whatever you want to get. You can get it with our logo on it and rock us out in public. And yeah, was there one other thing? Oh yes, I'm sorry. If you like the music, nowthenightmare.bandcamp.com. Check out my albums. We love you all. We'll be back in a week to talk about bloodshed. And I am really, really looking forward to just doing some slaying. So that's going to be fun. Until we see you then, everyone.
Hell yeah.
Take it easy.